Have you ever envied the heroes in stories, the chosen ones destined for greatness? It seems glamorous, right? The epic battles, the unwavering admiration, the unparalleled sense of purpose. Being the chosen one appears to be the ultimate dream. But have you ever stopped to wonder about the burdens they carry? What if the reality is far more complicated than it seems? Imagine a life where every decision you make could alter the fate of the world. Intrigued? From Harry Potter to Katniss Everdeen, chosen ones have captivated our imaginations for generations. Their journeys are filled with thrilling adventures and remarkable feats. However, behind the scenes of their legendary tales lie immense struggles and pressures that often go unnoticed. The path of the chosen one is riddled with challenges that test their courage, resilience, and sanity in ways unimaginable to ordinary people. Being chosen means living with a target on your back, constantly under scrutiny, and bearing the weight of expectations that can be crushing. It involves sacrifices that can alienate you from loved ones, thrust you into danger, and force you to confront your deepest fears. It's a role that demands not just strength and bravery, but also an extraordinary level of endurance and emotional fortitude. Intrigued by the paradox of this seemingly enviable yet profoundly challenging existence? Buckle up as we dive into the untold challenges that make being one of the chosen ones not just difficult, but downright daunting. Here are 10 reasons why it's not easy to be the chosen one. The allure of being a chosen one comes with a price, an arduous journey fraught with peril, sacrifice, and a relentless demand for heroism. As we peel back the layers of these legendary figures, we uncover a reality far more complex and daunting than we ever imagined. So next time you dream of being a hero, remember, with great power comes great responsibility, and sometimes that responsibility is more than anyone should have to bear. Join us on this journey of discovery and inspiration. Subscribe to Sacred Serenity for captivating insights into resilience, heroism, and the human spirit. Let's celebrate the heroes who inspire us and find the courage to make a difference in our own lives. Hit that subscribe button and embark on this adventure with us today. Crushing expectations. Being a chosen one might sound like living a dream, epic adventures, legendary status, and the admiration of all. But in reality, it's more like walking a tightrope over a pit of dragons, with everyone you know watching, hoping, and waiting for you to reach the other side. Imagine waking up one day and learning that the fate of the world rests on your shoulders. The pressure isn't just immense, it's almost unimaginable. Take Harry Potter, for example. From the moment he discovered he was the boy who lived, the expectations were sky high. Defeat Voldemort, save the wizarding world, and do it all before finishing his homework. No pressure, right? The entire magical community looked to him for salvation. Harry wasn't just a student, he was their last hope. Every glance, every whisper in the corridors of Hogwarts, every headline in the Daily Prophet reminded him that the weight of their world was on his shoulders. Then there's Frodo Baggins, an unassuming hobbit from the Shire, suddenly tasked with destroying the most powerful and dangerous artifact in existence, the One Ring. No one else could carry this burden, and failure wasn't an option. If Frodo stumbled, Middle-earth would fall into darkness. Every step he took towards Mount Doom wasn't just a journey, it was a test of endurance, willpower, and determination. The eyes of elves, men, and even the enemy were on him, banking on his success. The impact of these expectations is nothing short of crushing. Imagine having to live up to the legends people weave about you before you've even had your morning coffee. The psychological stress is staggering. For Harry, it wasn't just about learning spells and surviving school. It was about living up to a prophecy, facing mortal danger, and keeping his friends safe. Each failure or setback wasn't just a personal disappointment. It was a potential catastrophe for the entire wizarding world. Frodo, on the other hand, faced the constant lure of the ring, the weight of its dark power pressing down on him, whispering promises and threats. Every step towards Mount Doom was a battle against not only external enemies, but also his own inner demons. The fear of failure was ever present, gnawing at his resolve. This fear of failure can be paralyzing. Imagine knowing that one wrong move could doom everyone you love and countless others you'll never meet. It's not just about personal stakes, it's about the fate of entire worlds. For Harry, this meant facing his darkest fears and standing up to the greatest evil of his time. For Frodo, it meant resisting the overwhelming temptation to use the ring's power and enduring the physical and mental torment it inflicted. The crushing expectations placed on chosen ones turn their lives into high-wire acts, where the stakes are not just personal success or failure, but the survival of entire worlds. They are heroes, not just because of their abilities or destinies, but because of their extraordinary capacity to bear these burdens and still march forward. So next time you read about a chosen one's heroic deeds, remember the immense pressure they're under. Their true heroism lies not just in their epic battles or miraculous feats, but in their ability to shoulder the weight of everyone's hopes and fears and still fight on. Relentless Scrutiny. Being a chosen one is like living under a magnifying glass, with every move, every decision, and every misstep amplified for the world to see. It's not just about fulfilling a destiny, it's about doing so under the unblinking gaze of everyone around you, with no room for error. Consider Spider-Man. When Peter Parker dons the Spidey suit, he's not just battling villains, he's also facing the relentless scrutiny of the media. Every web-slinging escapade is plastered across newspapers and TV screens, with pundits and journalists ready to pounce on any mistake. J. Jonah Jameson, the editor of the Daily Bugle, constantly paints Spider-Man as a menace, twisting his heroics into headlines that sell papers but tarnish his reputation. For Peter, every rescue mission or fight scene isn't just about saving the day. It's about doing so in a way that doesn't give critics more ammunition to use against him. Then there's Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games. After becoming the face of the rebellion, her every move is scrutinized by both the capital and the districts. The public eye is always on her, analyzing her actions, words, and even her relationships. During the games, every moment is broadcasted to the nation, with the audience judging her strategies and alliances. Outside the arena, she's either a symbol of hope or a pawn in a deadly game of politics, depending on who's watching. The impact of this relentless scrutiny is profound. Imagine never having a moment of privacy, where even your most mundane actions are subject to public debate. For Spider-Man, this means balancing his superhero life with his personal one, knowing that any slip-up can endanger his loved ones and ruin his alter ego's name. The constant media glare adds an extra layer of stress, as he must always be mindful of how his actions are perceived. Katniss, on the other hand, has to navigate a world where her every word and gesture can spark a rebellion or bring down the wrath of the capital. The pressure to maintain a flawless public image is immense, as any perceived weakness can be exploited by her enemies. This scrutiny forces her to be constantly on guard, shaping her behavior and decisions to fit the narrative that will best serve her cause. Lack of privacy is a significant toll of this constant observation. Both Spider-Man and Katniss lose the ability to have normal lives. Their personal struggles and vulnerabilities are exposed to the world, leaving them little space to process their emotions or find solace. For Peter, it means hiding his true identity to protect those he loves, living a double life that isolates him from genuine connections. For Katniss, it means her pain and grief are turned into propaganda tools, with no sanctuary from the cameras. The added pressure to perform perfectly under this scrutiny is another heavy burden. Mistakes are magnified, and the fallout from any failure can be catastrophic. Spider-Man's battles are not just against villains, but also against the narrative spun by the media, forcing him to be meticulous and cautious. Katniss's actions in and out of the arena are dissected for weaknesses, pushing her to maintain a facade of strength and resilience even when she's struggling internally. Relentless Scrutiny transforms the lives of chosen ones into public spectacles, where their every action is judged and their privacy is non-existent. This constant observation forces them to navigate their paths with extreme caution, balancing their personal struggles with the need to maintain a flawless public image. Their true heroism lies in their ability to carry on, despite the overwhelming pressure and judgment, proving their worth not just through their deeds, but through their resilience under the watchful eyes of the world. Isolation. Imagine being the one person who stands between the world and its end. It sounds heroic, but it can also be incredibly isolating. When you're a chosen one, the weight of your destiny often separates you from those you love, leaving you feeling profoundly alone. Consider Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. Buffy Summers is a high school student by day and a vampire slayer by night. While her friends and family go about their everyday lives, Buffy battles demons and vampires in the shadows. Her slayer duties force her to keep secrets from those closest to her, creating a wall of isolation. Even when she's surrounded by friends, Buffy often feels like she's on a solitary path, burdened with a destiny no one else can truly understand. The emotional impact of this isolation is significant. Buffy's role as the Slayer sets her apart, making her feel different and disconnected. Despite having a close-knit group of friends, known as the Scooby Gang, who support her in her fight against evil, Buffy carries the ultimate responsibility alone. This sense of being alone in a crowd can lead to feelings of alienation and loneliness. The separation from loved ones isn't just about physical distance, it's also about emotional distance. Buffy often struggles with the fact that her friends can never fully understand her experiences and the sacrifices she has to make. This emotional gap can lead to misunderstandings and feelings of being unappreciated or misunderstood. The isolation also takes a toll on Buffy's mental health. The constant stress and pressure to save the world, coupled with the knowledge that she can't fully share her burdens with others, can lead to emotional exhaustion and depression. Buffy's duty as the Slayer forces her to grow up quickly and face terrifying realities, often leaving her with little time to process her emotions or take care of her mental well-being. Buffy's relationships are also strained by her role. Romantic relationships, in particular, are challenging. Her boyfriends often struggle to understand or cope with her double life, and her need to protect them from her dangerous world can push them away. This struggle for normalcy in her relationships highlights the deep sense of isolation she feels. The loneliness of being a chosen one extends beyond personal relationships. Buffy often feels disconnected from the world around her. While others worry about school, careers, or social lives, Buffy's primary concern is battling the forces of darkness. This stark contrast between her life and the lives of those around her reinforces her sense of being different and alone. The isolation that comes with being a chosen one is a heavy burden. The feelings of loneliness and separation from loved ones can lead to significant emotional and mental health struggles. Despite having allies and friends, the chosen one often walks a solitary path, bearing the weight of their destiny alone. Buffy's story is a powerful reminder that even the strongest heroes need support and understanding, and that the isolation they experience can be as challenging as the battles they fight. Constant danger. Imagine living a life where danger lurks around every corner, and every day is a battle for survival. For chosen ones, this is a daily reality. The perpetual threat to their life and safety means they must always be on guard, ready to face whatever comes their way. Take Luke Skywalker, for example. From the moment he joins the Rebel Alliance, Luke's life is a series of high-stakes battles against the Galactic Empire. Whether he's dodging stormtroopers, engaging in epic lightsaber duels with Darth Vader, or piloting his X-Wing in the heart of enemy territory, Luke's existence is a non-stop action movie. Each mission is fraught with peril, and the constant threat of capture or death is ever present. Similarly, Percy Jackson, the demigod son of Poseidon, faces a never-ending parade of mythological monsters and devious gods. From fighting off minotaurs and Hydra to battling titans and other ancient threats, Percy's life is one of constant danger. His enemies can strike at any moment, whether he's at camp, on a quest, or even just trying to enjoy a normal day at school. The demigod world is treacherous, and Percy must always be prepared for the next attack. The impact of this constant danger is profound. The need for perpetual vigilance means that chosen ones like Luke and Percy can never truly relax. Their senses are always heightened, scanning their surroundings for potential threats. This constant state of alertness can be exhausting, both mentally and physically. Imagine having to sleep with one eye open, always ready to spring into action at the slightest hint of danger. This perpetual threat also shapes their personalities and relationships. For Luke, the battle against the Empire means he must stay focused and determined, often pushing his emotions aside to stay strong for the rebel cause. This constant danger forces him to grow up quickly, making tough decisions and taking on responsibilities far beyond his years. It's a relentless grind that can wear down even the most heroic spirits. For Percy, the constant confrontations with deadly creatures mean he must always be resourceful and quick thinking. He learns to trust his instincts and rely on his friends, knowing that teamwork is often the key to survival. The ever-present danger strengthens his bonds with his companions, but it also places a heavy burden on his shoulders. Percy's sense of humor and laid-back attitude help him cope, but the reality of his perilous life is never far from his mind. The need for constant readiness also impacts their mental health. Living in a state of perpetual threat can lead to anxiety and stress. The fear of what might come next and the knowledge that their lives are always at risk can take a toll. For Luke, the pressure of being the last hope of the Jedi and the constant battles against the dark side weigh heavily on him. For Percy, the ongoing quests and the danger to his friends and family are a constant source of worry. The life of a chosen one is a relentless battle against constant danger. The perpetual threat to their life and safety means they must always be vigilant, ready to face any challenge that comes their way. This constant state of alertness shapes their personalities, relationships, and mental health, pushing them to their limits and testing their resilience. Luke Skywalker and Percy Jackson exemplify the courage and determination required to navigate such a treacherous existence, proving that true heroism lies in the ability to keep fighting, no matter the odds. Moral dilemmas. Imagine being caught between a rock and a hard place, where every decision you make has significant consequences, not just for yourself, but for countless others. This is the daily reality for chosen ones who constantly face complex ethical decisions that weigh heavily on their minds and hearts. Take Batman, for example. As Gotham City's vigilante protector, Bruce Wayne is frequently confronted with moral dilemmas. One of his most significant challenges is deciding whether to uphold his strict no-kill policy, even when facing villains like the Joker, who repeatedly endanger innocent lives. Batman's choice to refrain from killing is rooted in his desire to be better than the criminals he fights, yet this decision often leads to greater danger and suffering for the people of Gotham. Each time he lets a villain live, he wrestles with the potential consequences of that mercy, knowing it might come back to haunt him and the city he swore to protect. Similarly, Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games faces harrowing moral choices. Thrust into a brutal arena where it's kill or be killed, Katniss must decide how far she's willing to go to survive. Her decisions in the games, like forming alliances or showing mercy, aren't just about staying alive. They're also about maintaining her humanity. Outside the arena, as the symbol of the rebellion against the Capitol, Katniss grapples with the ethical implications of her actions, such as whether to support strategies that might harm innocent civilians. Every choice she makes carries significant weight, impacting not only her own survival, but also the fate of an entire nation. The impact of these moral dilemmas is profound. The internal conflict they generate can be incredibly taxing, leading to emotional and psychological burdens. For Batman, each ethical decision adds another layer to his already complex psyche. The constant battle between his moral code and the desire for swift justice creates an ongoing struggle within him, often leaving him isolated and burdened by guilt and doubt. Katniss, too, experiences deep internal conflict. The decisions she faces in the arena and as a rebel leader force her to constantly evaluate her values and priorities. The weight of these choices often leaves her feeling conflicted and emotionally drained. The pressure to make the right decision, knowing that lives are at stake, creates an immense emotional burden that she carries throughout her journey. These moral dilemmas also shape the Chosen One's relationships with others. For Batman, his uncompromising stance on justice can strain his relationships with allies who might favor more lethal methods. His ethical decisions often put him at odds with those who share his goal of protecting Gotham, but differ in their approach. This can lead to isolation and tension, even among his closest allies. For Katniss, her moral choices impact her relationships with fellow tributes, rebels, and even her family. Her decisions in the games and the rebellion can create rifts and alliances, influencing how others perceive and trust her. The ethical lines she navigates often put her in difficult positions, forcing her to balance personal bonds with her broader responsibilities to the cause. Facing moral dilemmas is a defining aspect of being a chosen one. The complex ethical decisions they must make carry significant consequences, leading to deep internal conflict and emotional burden. Batman and Katniss Everdeen exemplify the challenging path of chosen ones, where every choice can shape the course of their lives and the lives of many others. Their struggles highlight the true essence of heroism, not just in their actions, but in their ability to grapple with profound ethical questions and bear the heavy weight of their decisions. Personal sacrifices. Imagine having to give up everything you've ever wanted for yourself. Your dreams, your relationships, your chance at a normal life, all for the sake of a greater good. For chosen ones, this is often the price of their destiny. The personal sacrifices they make are immense, leading to deep emotional pain and a significant loss of personal happiness. Take Clark Kent, also known as Superman. As the Man of Steel, he has the power to save the world, but it comes at a steep cost. Clark longs for a normal life, where he can be with the love of his life, Lois Lane, and perhaps start a family. But his duty to protect humanity often pulls him away from these personal desires. Whether it's leaving in the middle of a romantic dinner to stop a catastrophe, or hiding his true identity to keep his loved ones safe, Clark's life is a constant balancing act. His immense power makes him the world's greatest hero, but it also isolates him, as he can never fully be just Clark Kent. Similarly, Aragorn, from the Lord of the Rings series, faces profound personal sacrifices. As the heir to the throne of Gondor, Aragorn has a destiny to fulfill, one that demands he put the needs of his people above his own desires. His love for Arwen, the elven princess, is complicated by his duty. To unite the kingdoms of men and defeat Sauron, Aragorn must embrace his royal heritage and the responsibilities that come with it, often at the expense of his personal happiness. his journey is marked by the tension between his heart's desires and the call of his destiny. The impact of these personal sacrifices is profound and multifaceted. The emotional pain of giving up personal dreams and relationships can be deep and enduring. For Superman, the constant need to choose between his duties as a hero and his desires as a person creates a persistent inner conflict. He struggles with the knowledge that while he's saving the world, he's also missing out on the simple joys and connections that make life fulfilling. Aragorn's sacrifices are similarly poignant. His sense of duty often requires him to suppress his own wishes and dreams. The burden of leadership and the weight of his responsibilities leave little room for personal happiness. His love for Arwen is tinged with the sorrow of the choices they must make, reflecting the broader theme of sacrifice that defines his life. These sacrifices also influence the Chosen One's relationships. For Superman, maintaining his double life strains his relationships with those he cares about. The need to keep his identity a secret can create distance and misunderstandings. Lois Lane, for instance, often feels the impact of Clark's divided loyalties as he is frequently called away to save the world at the expense of their time together. Aragorn's journey is similarly marked by the sacrifices he makes in his relationships. His role as a leader means putting the needs of his people above his own, often leading to moments of isolation and loneliness. His bond with Arwen is tested by the demands of his destiny, and their love story is one of enduring through the trials of duty and sacrifice. Personal sacrifices are a defining aspect of the Chosen One's journey. The need to give up personal dreams, relationships, and a normal life leads to significant emotional pain and a loss of personal happiness. Superman and Aragorn exemplify the heart-wrenching choices that come with their roles. Their stories highlight the true essence of heroism, not just in their extraordinary deeds, but in their willingness to sacrifice their own happiness for the greater good. These sacrifices, while often unseen, are the silent battles that Chosen Ones fight every day. Emotional toll. Imagine carrying the weight of the world's troubles on your shoulders, where every battle leaves scars that run deeper than the surface. For Chosen Ones, the emotional toll of their journey is often as daunting as the physical challenges they face. The ongoing stress and trauma they endure can leave lasting scars on their psyche, leading to profound long-term mental health issues. Consider Jessica Jones, a superhero haunted by her past. Her experiences as a survivor of abuse and mind control have left her grappling with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Jessica's powers make her formidable, but they also make her a target. Her struggles with addiction, trust issues, and recurring nightmares reflect the psychological scars that come with her traumatic history. Despite her strength, Jessica battles inner demons that threaten to overwhelm her. Similarly, Harry Potter from the Wizarding World faces deep emotional struggles. From a young age, Harry confronts loss, fear, and the constant threat of dark forces. The death of his parents, the burden of being the Chosen One, and the recurring confrontations with Voldemort take a toll on his mental well-being. Harry's journey is marked by moments of intense fear and grief, which shape his character and influence his decisions. The impact of this emotional toll is profound and far-reaching. The ongoing stress and trauma can lead to severe long-term mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, and PTSD. For Jessica Jones, her struggles with trust and emotional intimacy stem from years of psychological trauma. Her journey to reclaim her life is not just about physical battles, but also about healing the wounds that aren't visible to the eye. Harry Potter's experiences also highlight the toll of ongoing stress and trauma. His nightmares about Voldemort and the constant pressure to live up to his role as the boy who lived create a constant state of anxiety and fear. The emotional weight of his responsibilities as a hero is immense, often leaving him feeling isolated and burdened by expectations. These long-term mental health issues shape the Chosen One's relationships and personal growth. For Jessica Jones, her PTSD affects how she interacts with others, making it difficult to form meaningful connections. Her journey towards healing involves confronting her past and learning to trust again, a process that takes immense courage and resilience. Harry Potter's emotional struggles also impact his relationships with friends and mentors. His experiences with loss and fear shape his worldview and influence his decisions, sometimes causing rifts or misunderstandings with those closest to him. His journey towards self-discovery and acceptance is marked by moments of vulnerability and strength as he learns to navigate the complexities of his destiny. The emotional toll of being a chosen one is a profound aspect of their journey. The psychological impact of ongoing stress and trauma can lead to significant long-term mental health issues. Characters like Jessica Jones and Harry Potter exemplify the resilience and strength required to confront their inner demons while facing external threats. Their stories remind us that true heroism isn't just about physical feats, but also about overcoming emotional struggles and finding healing amidst the chaos of their extraordinary lives. Physical exhaustion. Imagine embarking on a journey where every step is a battle against physical limits, where exhaustion is a constant companion, and each victory comes with a price. For chosen ones, the physical demands and constant exertion of their quests push them to their limits and beyond. Take Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games. From the moment she enters the arena, Katniss must navigate treacherous terrain, evade deadly traps, and engage in intense battles for survival. The physical trials she faces, hunger, dehydration, sleep deprivation, and the constant threat of injury or death, take a toll on her body and mind. Each day in the arena is a struggle against overwhelming odds, where even the smallest mistake can have fatal consequences. Similarly, the Fellowship of the Ring in the Lord of the Rings trilogy endures grueling journeys across Middle-earth. Frodo, Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, and the others face harsh climates, perilous landscapes, and relentless pursuit by enemies. Their quest to destroy the One Ring demands constant vigilance and physical endurance. Whether battling orcs, climbing mountains, or traversing treacherous paths, the Fellowship is pushed to their limits, testing their strength and resilience with every mile. The impact of this physical exhaustion is significant. The constant exertion leads to physical fatigue, muscle strain, and potential injury. For Katniss, the hunger and physical hardships in the arena weaken her body, making each day a struggle to stay alive. Her survival depends not only on her skills as an archer and strategist, but also on her ability to endure physical pain and deprivation. For the members of the Fellowship, the physical demands of their journey leave them weary and worn. Frodo and Sam's long trek to Mount Doom is a test of endurance, both physically and mentally. The weight of the ring, both literal and figurative, adds to their physical burden, draining their strength with each step closer to their goal. Battles with orcs and other creatures further exhaust them, leaving them battered and bruised. This physical exhaustion also impacts the Chosen One's ability to think clearly and make sound decisions. Katniss must fight through fatigue and hunger to stay focused on survival. The Fellowship members, similarly, must push through physical pain and exhaustion to continue their quest to save Middle-earth. The mental strain of their journey adds another layer of challenge, requiring them to summon inner strength and resilience. The physical exhaustion of being a chosen one is a grueling aspect of their journey. The constant demands on their bodies, coupled with the challenges of their quests, push them to their limits and test their resilience. Characters like Katniss Everdeen and the Fellowship of the Ring exemplify the courage and endurance required to endure physical trials and continue fighting, despite overwhelming odds. Their stories remind us that true heroism isn't just about supernatural abilities or epic battles. It's also about the grit and determination to persevere through physical exhaustion and emerge stronger on the other side. Identity crisis. Imagine waking up every day unsure of who you really are, torn between conflicting identities and expectations that pull you in opposite directions. For chosen ones, the struggle with self-identity and role expectations is a constant battle, fraught with confusion and internal conflict. Consider Spider-Man, whose alter ego, Peter Parker, grapples with the responsibilities of being a superhero. As Spider-Man, Peter swings through the city, saving lives and fighting crime. But beneath the mask, he's just a regular guy, a student, a friend, a son, who struggles to balance his personal life with his heroic duties. The secrecy of his double life forces Peter to keep his true identity hidden, leading to moments of isolation and mistrust among those closest to him. Similarly, Neo from The Matrix experiences a profound identity crisis. At the beginning of his journey, Neo is Thomas Anderson, a computer programmer living a mundane life. But when he discovers the truth about the Matrix and his role as the One, Neo's perception of himself is shattered. He must reconcile his newfound powers and destiny with his old identity, navigating a world where reality is not as it seems. Neo's struggle to accept his role as a savior and leader is marked by moments of doubt and internal conflict. The impact of this identity crisis is profound. The struggle to reconcile conflicting identities can lead to confusion, self-doubt, and internal turmoil. For Spider-Man, maintaining the facade of Peter Parker while being Spider-Man requires constant juggling of priorities and personas. His desire to protect his loved ones often clashes with his superhero responsibilities, creating a rift between who he is and who he must be. Neo's journey in The Matrix also highlights the psychological toll of identity crisis. His transformation from Thomas Anderson, a disillusioned office worker, to Neo, the prophesied savior of humanity, forces him to confront deep-seated doubts and fears. The pressure to live up to the expectations placed upon him by Morpheus and the resistance adds to his internal struggle as he grapples with his evolving sense of self. This identity crisis also shapes the chosen one's relationships and personal growth. For Spider-Man, the secrecy surrounding his dual identity strains his relationships with friends and loved ones. His inability to fully reveal himself leads to misunderstandings and emotional distance as he tries to protect those he cares about from the dangers of his superhero life. Similarly, Neo's journey towards self-discovery and acceptance impacts his relationships with Morpheus, Trinity, and the rest of the Resistance. His role as the One brings him into conflict with Agent Smith and the machines, testing his loyalty and resolve. The choices he makes along the way, whether to embrace his destiny or reject it, shape not only his own fate, but also the fate of humanity. The identity crisis of being a chosen one is a profound aspect of their journey. The struggle with self-identity and role expectations creates internal conflict and emotional turmoil. Characters like Spider-Man and Neo exemplify the courage and resilience required to navigate these challenges as they confront their own doubts and fears while grappling with the expectations placed upon them. Their stories remind us that true heroism isn't just about external battles. It's also about the journey of self-discovery and acceptance amidst the complexities of their extraordinary lives. Endless vigilance. Imagine living a life where you can never truly let your guard down, where the weight of the world's safety rests on your shoulders, and peace is a distant dream. For chosen ones, endless vigilance is a constant companion, demanding perpetual alertness and preparedness. This ceaseless state of readiness strips them of the simple joys of relaxation and peace. Take Batman, Gotham City's Dark Knight. His life is a relentless cycle of crime fighting, where every shadow and every sound could signal danger. Batman's commitment to justice means he is always on high alert, constantly scanning the city for threats, even in the middle of the night. His Batcave is a fortress of technology and weapons, a symbol of his unending preparation for the next battle. The darkness of Gotham is his ally, but also his prison, keeping him forever vigilant and ever watchful. Similarly, the Guardians of the Galaxy embody the spirit of endless vigilance. This ragtag group of heroes, led by Star-Lord, is constantly on the move, facing intergalactic threats that could destroy entire planets. From battling cosmic warlords to navigating the dangers of space, the Guardians' lives are a whirlwind of action and danger. Their adventures demand that they stay alert and ready for anything, whether it's a surprise attack from a marauding space pirate or a showdown with a powerful cosmic entity. Their spaceship, the Milano, is a mobile headquarters, always equipped and ready for their next mission. The impact of this endless vigilance is profound. The need to remain perpetually alert takes a heavy toll on their mental and physical well-being. For Batman, the constant threat of danger and the burden of his crusade against crime mean he can never truly relax. His life is a never-ending cycle of patrols, investigations, and battles, leaving little room for rest or personal time. This lack of peace makes it hard for him to form close relationships, as his mind is always preoccupied with the next threat looming over Gotham. For the Guardians of the Galaxy, their life of adventure and danger means they rarely have a moment of downtime. The thrill of space battles and the constant threat of annihilation keep them on edge, making it nearly impossible to enjoy a moment of peace. Even when they're not fighting, their minds are always racing, strategizing for their next encounter or planning their next move. This relentless vigilance creates a constant undercurrent of stress and anxiety, making relaxation and calm moments rare luxuries. This state of endless vigilance also affects their personal lives and relationships. For Batman, his obsession with crime fighting often isolates him from those he cares about. The people of Gotham see him as a hero, but Bruce Wayne's personal life is a constant struggle between his public persona and his secret identity. His need to protect Gotham keeps him from fully engaging with the world around him, leaving him lonely and disconnected. The Guardians, too, face challenges in their relationships. Their lives are so entwined with danger that they struggle to form normal bonds. The camaraderie they share is forged in the fires of battle, but their constant state of alertness keeps them from truly relaxing and enjoying each other's company. The stress of their endless vigilance sometimes leads to friction and misunderstandings, as the pressure of their duties wears on their spirits. The burden of endless vigilance is a defining aspect of the Chosen One's journey. The need for perpetual alertness and preparedness strips them of peace and the simple pleasure of relaxation. Characters like Batman and the Guardians of the Galaxy exemplify the unyielding courage and resilience required to maintain their watchfulness, even when it costs them their personal peace and happiness. Their stories remind us that true heroism often comes with a steep price, one that includes the relentless demand to stay vigilant, no matter how weary the heart or the soul. In exploring the lives of heroes like Batman and the Guardians of the Galaxy, we witness tales of courage, sacrifice, and resilience. These chosen ones bear burdens few can comprehend: endless vigilance, physical exhaustion, moral dilemmas, and deep emotional turmoil. Their stories inspire us with their unwavering commitment to justice and compassion. Let us admire not only their victories, but also their resilience in the face of overwhelming challenges. Their journeys teach us the strength of the human spirit and the power of perseverance. Reflect on the heavy responsibilities heroes carry and appreciate the sacrifices they make. Subscribe to Sacred Serenity on YouTube for more inspiring content on resilience, heroism, and the human spirit. Join us in celebrating the heroes among us and finding inspiration for our own journeys. Together, let's strive to make a difference in our lives and communities.